Welcome back to Hardball. Today, more insight into what was going on inside the Defense Department to bolster the case for war back in 2002 and 2003. The Pentagon's Inspector General has issued a new report that concludes dubious intelligence from former Undersecretary of Defense Doug Feith was manipulated to make the Bush administration's case for war. Senator Ben Nelson is a Nebraska Democrat who sits on the Armed Services Committee. Well, this comes on top of all the stuff that's coming out of the Scooter Libby trial. In that case, it was about nuclear case for war, which has been undercut by all the evidence since. Now we got a lot of undercutting going on by the Inspector General of the Defense Department that there really wasn't a hard case for an Iraq connection with al-Qaeda. What's your reaction to it, Senator Nelson?
Well, I think nobody is surprised anymore about what comes out. I think it's the makings for a spy novel. I'm sure Grisham is looking at it for a material to write a book. But it's so unfortunate. I think the report said inappropriate. Well, it's beyond inappropriate. It's unfortunate. I think most everybody would expect that what you get from the White House would be something that you could trust, you could rely on, and that it would work, that it would materialize. In this case, it's been just the opposite.
Well, it seems to me, without getting too dramatic, Senator, what the Inspector General is accusing Doug Feith of, and anyone else who tried to push us into war with weekend intel, is waging an aggressive war. That's an international crime. Not that we're ever going to have, war crimes trials against our own people, but it is a crime to start a war without a reason. Did these guys, based upon what you've seen, simply want the war and look for evidence to justify it?
Well, you'll have to ask Doug Feith what his purpose was, because I don't know. But when the Inspector General says from the outside, apparently an objective view, that the office was inappropriate in its use of this information, the way it presented, it's pretty hard to draw a very positive conclusion for what his purpose was. But you'll have to ask him as to what his motive was. But it's pretty easy to impute a motive that it was not being a good one, for sure.
Let me ask you about the Senate right now. You seem to be in a stall position because both sides want to have their kind of vote on the floor. Is there going to be a breakthrough in the next week or so where you're going to actually have an up or down vote on the war in Iraq and the decision to increase the number of troops over there?
Well, I think we will eventually get to the discussion of Iraq again, and yes, I hope we will get an up or down vote on the Warner-Nelson-Collins resolution. I think there are more than enough votes to pass it. It got blocked with the so-called filibuster, which was very surprising. The people who were on the bill and who supported the bill, the resolution and the bill, voted for filibuster.
Party discipline rules and procedural votes. I've learned it all my life. It's easy to corral people into the usual voting manner if you just say vote the party. Anyway, thank you, Senator Nelson, for taking the time tonight.